The caller on now. Oh my goodness. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear clear.
Please go ahead. Give us your name and where you're calling from.
My name is Onajite Higo Roberts.
And where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Germany.
From Germany. Please go ahead. Exactly. That's what we're saying. Go ahead.
Mazi,
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. I don't know what is going on this morning. I have no idea, to be honest. I have no idea. The caller on the line. No. I am no longer going to take calls on this very line. I don't know what is going on. It is not working as it should. The caller on the line, please, can you hear me? You can hear me, then proceed. Give us your name again and where you're calling from.
Yeah, my name is Onajite Higo Roberts.
Yes, go ahead.
I am an Izon speaking and Urobo speaking Biafran.
Thank you. Please go ahead.
Firstly, before I will go ahead, I want to call your attention for a very little thing. The thing is that I want to make a suggestion, or let me call it an advice, that you should not be tired when people call you and they keep on appreciating you, sir. There is a reason for this, because I strongly believe that if you know what you have done to us mentally, you will understand that even we use all the whole day or all the whole call to call and appreciate alone. So, because there is a reason for this. Do you imagine how when someone should go, when someone is blind for over 100 years? In fact, me that I'm speaking with you right now, I was born blind. So when they tell me that an Igbo man is my problem, I believe them because I was blind. I know nothing. But I thank God for this. I thank Chukwu Okike Abiyama that he bring us IPOB, and we all now can now see that is the wonderful grace, that is the wonderful love. Chukwu Okike Abiyama Tamono Ogene, that is the wonderful love he has shown to us, and we won't stop appreciating. But the reason why I actually call is that about the Facebook, because and I thank God because I have been praying that God should make something that will happen, that will make Mazi Nnamdi take emergency action about Facebook blocking our people, blocking our warriors on the social media. So, and I thank God that the thing has finally happened, because I know that when you have your time, something is going to be done, and I appreciate God for that. So the reason why I call this morning, it is to keep on appreciating you, to let you to understand that our people now can now see. We all that went blind, both we that was born blind, we all now can now see. Now, as an Urobo man, as an Izo man, I now see my own flesh and blood as my flesh and blood. I don't see them as how they call them anymore. Igbo man now can now see me as his own flesh and blood. And your explanation about we being linked, as your explanation about everybody being Igbo. In fact, it's like that is my best lecture I've ever received. That is my best lecture I've ever received on radio.
Everybody is Igbo. I say it and I don't mince my words. Everybody is Igbo. Everybody is IGBO. I mean everybody. Everybody. Exactly. Everybody is Igbo.
That is, in fact, that is my best lecture I ever received on this platform. Because there are a lot of people who have been asking questions. They have been asking questions about that particular statement. And with facts and figures, with evidence. Now it is not what you just come on air and tell us. You tell everybody, if you have brain, research, as you are saying it, as you are broadcasting, you told us to research, and we all make a research, and we can now confirm, the world can now confirm that we are one people. We all are Igbo. We have some the problem with our people, which they did not understand, our coastal Biafran people. The problem that they did not understand is that they did not understand is that Igbo is like the middle of everything. There are some there are some people that are speaking Igbo today, but they did not understand themselves, and they are claiming that they are Igbo. So Igbo is like a central language. It's like a central rope that ties every one of us together. Everybody is linked to Igbo. Everybody is linked to
Let me answer you. I want to help you. Just hold on, I want to help you out. I challenge anybody who is from Okwa, for instance. I want you to travel to Eza, I want you to travel to Nsukka and ask them to speak proper Nsukka dialect and tell me if you understand them. I challenge anybody from Aguleri to come to Ibeku. I will speak Ibeku dialect for you, the real Konk Ibeku dialect. I dare you, if you understand what I'm saying. These are the things that people don't understand. Our people, I want people to sit down to reason. As somebody just mentioned this morning, what we are doing is we are decolonizing people. People were colonized. Their land was colonized. Their brain was colonized.
We are blind. In fact,
very blind. What we are doing now is decongesting their brain, decolonizing them, so you can reason and do your own research properly. And my dear brother, let me tell you one thing about this interconnectedness. This one people that we are talking about. Do you know that this star that is on our flag now, that some Satanists, people from the devil are complaining about? Do you know that in Edo, there is a high school in Edo with this same hexagram? People mistake hexagram to be pentagram. So that is why going to school, and when the teacher is teaching you in school, you need to pay attention and listen and take down your notes. Pentagram is 5-sided star. Ours is hexagram. It's not the same thing. Ours is 6. 6. Do you know that this same thing appears in Ungwa High School in Aba, Government College in Owerri? These are schools formed before independence. This school in Edo, I've forgotten the name of the school in Edo, the same star. And do you know the funniest thing? Even in Anambra State Coat of Arms has the same star. And I've been telling people from time that Anambra is the epicenter of everybody. If you're from Izon, if you're from Urobo, you're from Ishekiri, you're Isoko, you're Igede, you're Idoma, you're Igala. All of these people, everybody, our central point is Anambra. People don't understand it. And when we started, having this debate about our new flag, people never, the reason why I love IPOB these days is that I don't even have to say much, and IPOB can do even more research than myself. And they're now teaching me even the things that I never knew before. From the research that IPOB family members are doing, I am even now learning from them. Because they went out and they dug out a lot of historical facts and figures. The one that I'm going to blow their mind with is that if you go to Nsibidi, the same hexagram, this 6-sided star that we have, is in Nsibidi, which is our original language of the Jagan people, how we used to write. This was when Britain hasn't been formed. When the Angles and the Anglo-Saxons from Germany have not come down to England to try to form the English race. We were writing letters, we were writing to each other with Nsibidi. And inside that Nsibidi, is this seal of wisdom. People call it the star. It is not the Star of David. They call it the seal of Solomon. When the white man came and discovered it at Aguilera, he called it the seal of Solomon because Solomon is associated with wisdom. The meaning of the six-sided star is not the Star of David. No. It is called the seal of wisdom. It is a seal given to only races that are intelligent. As intelligent as Solomon. That was why the white man called it the seal of Solomon. They only called it the Star of David in 1948.
That is the great.
These are the things that people don't know. I quietly left them for some to wallow in their ignorance. The real name of that very seal, the six-pointed star, it is called hexagram, and not the Satanist five-pointed one, is the seal of wisdom. That is why it's called the seal of Solomon, because Solomon is considered as the wisest man in the books. It is the seal of, it is not the Star of David, it is the seal of wisdom. They should go and do their research very well. That is why we are here. And what gives me joy, you said you are Ijo, you are Urobo, how come?
Yeah, my father is partly Izo and partly Urobo. So my mother is a pure Urobo woman, but my father, my grandfather is an Izoman, and my grandmother is an Urobo woman.
Wow, complete. In fact, you represent Biafra itself, trying to link everybody together. The only thing that is now left for you is to go to Anambra and marry. Then the whole thing will be complete.
I am married to a boy woman.
It's complete. So now
my wife is from a boy from
you see, your child, the DNA of your child is the personification of what Biafra is all about. Is the purest Biafran. Any offspring you produce, and I pray to Chukwu Kikabiama, you produce as many as possible. Those children you will have.
And I just have twins.
Oh, hallelujah. Those twins you have, what you need to do is to go and take a sample of their blood and put it somewhere, because they are the perfect. They represent the perfect Biafran gene. That genetic pool that you have in your children is the perfect Biafran genetic pool, and that's how it's supposed to be. There are some things that people don't understand. They think that sometimes language, differences in or variations in dialect means you're different people. It doesn't mean that at all. And I said to them, people don't reason. You see, the Queen's English that most people speak or admire so much is only spoken within the landed gentry of England. You see, in London, the Queen lives in London. Buckingham Palace is in London. Are you aware of that?
Yeah.
Do you know that if you travel from Buckingham Palace in central London to the East End, which is Hackney, to the East End, do you know that the English they speak, they call it Cockney? If they speak Cockney there, believe you me, if you're raised in one of those manors, if you're raised in the shire, so to speak, you will not understand. The same London, I didn't say outside London, Cockney accent in London itself sounds like a different language altogether. Do you know that they did a movie, Liverpoolians, people from Liverpool, the club that I support, of course, did a movie. They were playing that movie in cinemas in America, and Americans could not understand that. They said to Americans, these are English people. Americans said, no, please put subtitle. You know what is subtitle? So that when they're speaking, they'll be writing at the bottom in English what they're saying. But these are English people. Liverpool is England. But do you know they're called Scousers? Their accent is Scouser. When they speak it, you can't understand it. Now, if you go to Newcastle, the same English language, in Newcastle, they are called the Geordies. They speak a different English altogether from that spoken by the Scousers, from that spoken by the Eastenders, Cockney, from that spoken even by the Queen. These are things that people don't understand. They think that sometimes a slight variation in language means you're different people. No, it doesn't mean that at all.
Mazi, yeah, this is another opportunity for me, because I think this is another special lecture for me. But before I go, I have, if you can permit me, I have a message for my people who are listening to you, wherever they may be or wherever they are. Can I proceed,
of
sir?
Course,
okay,
proceed,
sir.
yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
Okay, sir. My message for my people, wherever you may be, either you are from Izor, you are from Robo, you are from Itsekiri, you are from Isoko, wherever you may come from in the coastal Biafran area. I am telling you this, we all grown up being either a Christian or a Muslim or a traditionalist. We all pass through pastors. We all come across imams. We all come across traditional rulers. But in all these things, we were all blind, which means we don't know the truth. Most of us, especially we in this generation, we were born blind. But do you know what it takes for somebody who was born blind, and someone came from nowhere, someone came and opened their eyes, either miraculously, either physically, anyhow, we regain our sight through the gospel and through the truth this person is preaching. And now we all gain our sight. If you are from this area, your pastors is unable to free you, or your pastors or your imams were unable to open your eyes for all these years. Even that of our fathers, they were unable to open their eyes. Then you have somebody, you have only single family, not even somebody, you have a full family who brought back light, who restore your sight for you. And if you go against this person, or you go against this family, means you are going against yourself, your children. You are trying, you are passing a clear message to your children and that of your unborn children, that they should be submissive and they should be slaves to the few political rich ones, or to the few monsters that has imposed themselves on us. That the water the river where we make toilets, that is the same river we drink from. Everything that we own was taken away from us. And few of these people who are making us to see them as our leader, who are making us to see them as our pastors or our imam, that they are benefiting from this evil. They are suppressing us, giving us every fake information, or giving us every wrong thing, to make sure that they continue to suppress us, and their children and their unborn children continue to suppress our unborn children and to rule over our unborn children. So if you know you don't want your children and your children's children to be slaves to eternity, better rise up and join this family wherever you are in the coastal Biafran area. Make sure you join this family. We are there already. If you don't join, you will be left aside. You will be left behind, because people are moving into this family. Don't make yourself available as a saboteur or as an hindrance or as a stone in this struggle. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, and stay where you are. There's something I want to clarify and thank you for your call anyway. There's something I want to clarify before I leave you. Not you leaving me, but before I leave you. Now listen. When you want to take something, you have twins. Are they grown up? Are they up to 4 years old?
No, they are 2 years old.
Okay. When they get to up to 4 years old, if you want to take something, let's say your wife, you know women, they love their children. When your wife gives the choice meat or fish to any of your children during dinner and you see that piece of meat or fish and you like it so much and you want to take it, well, you say to that your child, oh, can you see that fly? You see, if your child is afraid of spider, you say, oh, look at spider on the wall. When your child looks away from her bowl or from her soup, her okazi or egusi or bitter leaf, you quietly dip your hand in and take the fish or the meat you like. Is that not true? Is that not what you do?
Exactly.
Now, for somebody to deceive you and take something that belongs to you, they'll first of all point and say, oh, can you look at that thing on the wall? Oh, look at that mango tree. Or look, once you look up, they take that meat and they put it in their mouth and they eat. They used to do it to us when we were small. And I can say to you, I never did it to anybody. But now listen carefully. That was the game that the Fulani Janjaweed played on our people. And we were so stupid we didn't know this. They came it was Britain that gave them the idea. The best thing for you to do is to always say to them, oh look at Igbo man there. As you're busy looking at Igbo man, they are taking everything you have. They take your land, they kill you, they do everything, they intimidate you. If you ask them, oh, but why are you doing this? Say, look at Igbo man, they look at him, he wants to take your land and build a chemist. Look at him. You look again at the Igbo man and they're taking everything that you have. That was a very clean, clear-cut system perfected by the British and handed down to the Janjaweed. And that is how they've been flourishing. You can never hold them responsible. If you ask them, why is it that you have only Fulani people in all the positions, key positions in the zoo? They will tell you, oh, because if we are not here, an Igbo man will be here. Do you want an Igbo man to be defense minister? Do you want an Igbo man to be vice president? Hey, you know what will happen? You know the way they are. They are domineering you. They will take everything from you. Hey, oh, pareo, you want Igbo man to be president? Meanwhile, the Fulanis are milking everybody, bleeding all of you dry. Floating 6 terrorist groups, 6. And that is why today in the coastal region of Biafra, the same toilet, the same river, the same creek that people go to toilet in is where they go to fetch water to drink. If you ask them what is your problem, say, look at Igbo man will soon come. That's what they've been doing, as if they're little children. But today we are wiser, thanks to people like you. Thank you very, very much. Thank you very much, my dear brother. We have calls now all over the place. The calls are too plentiful, in fact, the main line itself cannot even work. It's been jammed beyond repair. Jammed, I'm telling you the truth. I can't even get calls out of it. That is how serious it is. I want to put it, let me see if I can now. The caller on the line, can you hear me, please?
Hello, sir. Good morning, sir.
Good morning to you, my dear brother. Give us your name.
Hello, good morning, sir.
Good morning to you. Where are you calling from?
Yeah, my name is Charles. I am calling from Onitsha.
From Onitsha.
I'm a Biafran. My name is Charles Obidike.
Thank you very much. Please go ahead.
I'm calling from Onitsha. Yeah. I was the person that called last time that told you that my father was killed in 1966.
Yes.
In the Kanu.
Yes. Within the program.
So yes, within the program like this.
Yes.
And I also told you that this our church member are no longer telling us the truth, because Jesus said that only the truth will set us free.
Of course.
I want to tell you that since I started listening to you, I'm not an IPO member, and I'm about 60 years of age, but I am a lover of truth. So since 2014, I started listening to you. Everything that you have been telling us is pure truth, and nothing but the truth. So any man that doesn't want to hear from you, or that is still living in the north, thinking that Nigeria will be better tomorrow, I don't see the betterness of it. And above all, you open our brain. You made us to know that The miracle we are praying for every day in the church, asking for God to bring light, to bring water, to bring this, to bring that, they are all in our brain.
Of course,
it's only our government that are supposed to do that.
Yes, of course.
But they are not doing everything. I found out that we keep on renewing our slavery every 4 years.
Yes.
They will tell us, go and vote. Go and vote. They will come to churches and give the pastors, the bishops money. They will tell us your PVC is your power. Once you go and vote, then nothing will be done. Look at Aba, everywhere no road. Look at Onitsha here, everywhere no road. Look at Enugu, no road, no light. People are suffering. Is that this is what we have been doing since 1960 till today that I know. Because by 1960 I was about 10 years. And you can imagine today, I was about 7 years or so. You can imagine how many years I am now. So it's all about suffering. So only God, anybody that will say that this Biafra will not come, will never live to see this Biafra with his family in the mighty name of Chukwu Kabiama.
Ise, my dear brother, Ise, thank you for that. Very, very clear and very, very succinct. Very, very clear. Thank you very, very much for that. Thank you for that very call. I'm even trying to see if I can get some people on the line to see if they can be able to join this program this morning. I am trying the best I can. It's very, very difficult. We have calls from everywhere. Unbelievable. The caller on the line on WhatsApp, can you hear me? Yes, please. Your name and where you're calling from?
Good morning, my leader.
Good morning to you, dear brother.
Yeah, I'm Chukwu
Uli. And where are you calling from?
Yes, sir. I'm calling from Botswana.
From Botswana. Do we have an IPOB family in Botswana? Confirm that for me.
No, sir. And that is one of the reasons why I'm calling.
Then start IPOB family where you are. I'll make you the coordinator of Botswana. Start IPOB family where you are. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. So then, Botswana, I use passport to Nigeria.
Zoo. You're using zoo passports in zoo passport in Botswana. Yes, go ahead. Mix what you're saying with a bit of English. I don't care if it is broken. Just mix it up a little bit so that other people who are not Igbo speaking can understand what you're saying. Go ahead. I don't care how good or bad the English is, but just manage it, please. Go ahead.
I think. Hello.
Yes, go ahead. We are listening. Go ahead. We are listening. Go ahead.
So last week there was a form they brought to us. They say we should all fill the form. I will send you the picture on message of the form. So they were asking us to fill the form is to know about Nigerians who are staying in Botswana.
Hi, what is happening to this landing? Please go ahead. Please go ahead.
When they send this form, some of our brothers, some Biafrans who are here, they wanted to go ahead to fill the form. Then I have to ask them, guys, you people cannot fill a form which there is no letterhead from the Zoo Federal Republic, and there is no any stamp from the Zoo Embassy, and you people want to go ahead to fill a form.
Nobody should fill. What are they asking you to fill form for? What? Fill form for what?
They said.
Go ahead.
Hello, sir.
Go ahead. Fill form for what?
Yeah, so they said it's for because I always tell them that I'm not a Nigerian, I'm a Biafran, but I'm a Biafran. I'm using the zoo passport under. I didn't get the passport because I was forced to use the zoo passport.
Of course.
That the zoo where I come from. That is not whom I am. which even here in Botswana, I do tell the police that I'm not a Nigerian.
Yes.
That I'm a Biafran. But what I'm using it by force. I was forced to use it. And
stay where you are. Stay where you are on this passport issue, because some of these people who are not well educated in the zoo, some of these very backward monkeys that call themselves Nigerians. But which passport are you using? And I asked them a simple question. Which passport was Azikiwe, Awolowo, Ahmadu Bello, and Tafawa Balewa using before 1960? They traveled abroad. They went to Lancaster. They went everywhere else. Which passport were they using? You know, the thing about education in the zoos, I feel sorry for people. Education is supposed to radicalize your thinking. That is why anytime you see people go into university, you see them lean to the left. They're always very radical. They want to change the system. Because their brain, it is the duty of the lecturers in the universities abroad, where I went to in England, to put fire in your brain. So that thing is not that they're training you to become a rebel. They want you they want to radicalize your thinking, so that you cannot see anything as being impossible. So to drive away primitive superstition. I'm asking those people. You always ask Biafrans and IPOB family. You always ask IPOB, because IPOB means the whole of Biafra. You always ask IPOB, and it's just, oh, why are you using Nigerian passport? You're using Nigerian passport. Why? Why don't you drop it? I say, because you're a fool. Let me ask you again. Before George Washington got independence for America today, the mightiest country in the whole world, who was he? Before Zoo became independent in 1960, Awolowo traveled abroad. Zik traveled abroad. Zik was in exile in Ghana and in many other places. Let me ask you again, you uneducated moron from the zoo, can you tell me which passport Awolowo traveled with? Did that stop Awolowo from campaigning for the zoo to be independent from Britain? They can't answer, because they are foolish. You see, when you debate with a zoo animal, what you're getting is a specimen of idiocy. People who are born stupid, people who are born daft. They never make any reference in life. Let me ask you again, before you wake up the next day to go and ask somebody, oh, but you're using Nigerian flag, your Nigerian passport, your passport is Nigeria, it's not Biafra. Let me ask you, when Awolowo was fighting for independence away from Britain, Awolowo was fighting for independence. Which passport did which document did he use to travel abroad? Because some of you are daft. So I will give you the answer. The answer is a British travel document. But that did not stop Awolowo from campaigning for the zoo to be free from Britain. Hey, zoo and their education system. I don't blame, I blame the education system in the zoo. I don't blame people. I don't blame people. Let me see if I can read this very message. Somebody said it's from Arundi Zuogu. His name is Emeka Okafor. He's based in Ogun State. I've been trying to reach you. My calls are clashing. I'm IPOB. I'm a 23 years old boy. Now, what is he trying to say? My contribution I'm about to make now, I'm emphasizing that on our new flag, that some ignorant people are complaining about Israel. People are that Israel adopted the Star of David in their flag, whilst Britain created the so-called contraction named Zoo in 1914 and put the Star of David as they did because yes, your point being, I suggest that let's leave them on their foolishness and let's forge ahead. No, we are going to educate our people. We are going to educate our people so they understand. That is not the star of what you're looking at on the Biafran flag is not the Star of David. What you're looking at is the seal of wisdom, the seal of Solomon, Our people will need to understand this. I don't listen. Our own star was discovered before 1914, as a matter of fact, but formally adopted or incorporated into the zoo flag in 1917. What I'm trying to say to people is that when it was discovered, it wasn't called the Star of David. It was called because the white man knew that the hexagram is associated with very intelligent race. That is a lecture that I want to give, but I don't think that the brain of our people can absorb it because it's too deep. I'll wait until Biafra is restored, and I'll give you the lecture, because if I give it to you now, some people will go mad about who we are and where we come from. Why in Ibeku, where I come from, if you ask an Ibeku person, where do you come from, they will say, we descended from heaven. People don't understand who we are. Our heritage, our history is so deep that if I reveal it now, believe you me, they will all gang up and start killing every Biafran wherever you are. You will turn them into. Let me put it to you this way. What Britain is doing with the help of the Fulani is what Herod did when they say that a star had been born. Remember the 3 wise men from the east that followed that star to go to Bethlehem. And Herod said, kill every child under the age of 2. I don't care who. If I reveal to you what we know about our people, and that is why sometimes they say we speak with so much arrogance and so much pride. We have to speak the way we do because we are special. There is no other like us. We are too special, way too special. That is why we inhabit the center of the world. That is why in Biafra land is the very center, epicenter of this very earth that you inhabit. We are too special. If I tell you how, that was what Britain saw and said we must destroy them. I read a comment now on Facebook, one of our brothers saying, he is Ikwere, he's Igbo. And somebody is telling him that an Igbo man is his problem. You don't understand. Ask yourself the reason why. People, when they go out and they meet you and they want to deceive you, they say, Igbo man is your problem. Ask yourself that question. Do you think they just plot it out of thin air? Do you think it's just because we are successful, because we are blessed? No. There is a reason, there is a demonic reason behind it. They are saying it to you because they know, as they have now discovered even in the Middle Belt and everywhere else, only an Igbo man-led agitation can save you. If you like, we'll collapse IPOB and wait for 10 more years. Fulani will sweep everywhere. They will conquer all of you. They will take you over. I want you to go and study the history of the Caribbean. Study the history of the independence movement in Haiti, in Jamaica, in all those places that our people were taken to. They will tell you, I'm not boasting, I'm just being honest with you. There is nothing envy can do. You can be as envious and eat your own flesh. You can eat your own flesh, I don't care. If you go to Haiti, Igbo man set them free. Jamaica the same. In every Caribbean country, go and check. Do your history. Go back and research, you will see it. The frontline activists of Black America, civil rights activists, all of them, go and check them. They are of Igbo descendancy. Go and check. Do you know why? Because an Igbo man hates injustice. It's in their DNA. I've said this thing to you before. I want you now to travel go and bring any friend of yours. Be there be white, pink, yellow. Take anybody to your village. Don't tell your villagers that this very person is your friend. 2 of you should pretend you're fighting. Come to the village square and pretend you're fighting. Go and bring your brothers to be beating this very person who doesn't speak your local language. Pretend you're beating him and let him or her be crying. I can assure you, before you get 2 or 3 people come there, the first question they will ask you, this person you're beating, what did he do to you? That is how special we are. And it pains me that our people don't know who they are. When you're beating, I'm telling you the truth, if I take somebody to Isiama Faruku now, a total stranger, and I start to beat that very person, somebody from my compound will come out and ask me, this man you're beating, what? The first question you will hear is, what did he do to you? And we are the only people in the world that does that. No other race can do it. No other. Do you know where that came from? It came from live and let live, which I will translate for you in Igbo language to understand it. This is the motto of the ancients, which means that the way that Biafra land is structured, it is based on equity and justice, a balance of nature, live and let live, which means we recognize that eagle is the king of the birds. But even at that, a kite must perch beside the eagle. Do you know what that means? That everybody is equal. It doesn't matter your position is ready. I want people to understand who they are, for you to understand that inside us is democracy, inside us is justice, inside us is fairness. We don't even need a constitution to put it down. We don't need to write it down on a tablet of stone. We don't need to put it on a piece of paper. We embody justice itself. That is who we are. Some of you don't know this. A simple experiment. Take a stranger to your village. Pretend you're beating that stranger in the market square. Just come out. The first person to pass by will ask you, that man you're beating, what did that man do to you? There was a lecture I gave on Radio Biafra in 2012-2013. And it was somebody called Radio Biafra and was talking about Asylum. I said, do you know Biafran people started Asylum before, and you see all this Asylum we have today, Asylum. I want you to understand that we are the embodiment of godliness. That is why most of the world don't want us to stand, because we are the image of God itself. And I'll prove it to you. Do you know the asylum that people talk about every day? Or if you run to UK, you can seek asylum, because there's a law in England that if you're fleeing persecution, once your leg, that is why I said that ordinarily speaking, the English people, they are good. I'm being honest with you. It is those who work in their foreign and commonwealth office that are satanic. An average, you see, England is just like Igbo land in a way. They love justice. Do you know there was a law passed in England in nearly 400 years ago that if you're fleeing persecution and your leg touches England, that you're a free man? It's a law in England. Now, let me tell you where asylum started, and that we have asylum in our DNA. Nobody needs to teach me about asylum and human rights. You cannot teach Biafrans human rights, because in everything we do, in our conduct, in our character, we embody human rights. Do you know how it started? When you are small, some of us that grew up in the village, I feel sorry for those of you that grew up in township, because you never experienced this. In those days, when you go and play football, past 6, what you're supposed to do, you didn't do it, and you come back and your mom is chasing you to beat you, and you run to your uncle next door, or you run to your aunt next door. Your mom is way older than a little girl, or you see a little girl, let's say your mom is 40 years old, beating you as a child of maybe 9 or 10 or 15 or 20, as the case may be. You are, because when you're up to 20, you've gone to boarding school, so she'll be talking to you with a little bit of love and respect, you know, our mothers. But when you're about 13, 14 and still very stubborn, you go to play football, you come back very late, and your mom is chasing you to beat you, your mom is maybe around 35 to 40 years old, and you run to a girl who is 15 years old, or to a woman, or to a boy, and you hold them by the waist. Your mom is chasing you to beat you. Your mom is very old, and you run and you hold somebody by the waist to save you. Basically, you're seeking asylum. Do you know that your mother can never touch you again? No matter how small that person is, as once you have run to that person and you hold them, your mother can never ever touch you. Once they're chasing you and you run into the compound, the next compound of your uncle, that's the end of it. Your mom can never touch you. You know what happens? After about 30 minutes, that's your aunt or your uncle will talk to you, and then they'll bring you back to your compound and then say to your mom, don't touch him. And your mom will say, if not for your uncle. That is asylum. That your mom was chasing you, you went and you sought asylum in your uncle's house. In the evening, that your uncle will now bring you, or should I say later on, your uncle will bring you back and say to your mom, warn her, don't touch him, and that's the end of it. Do you know that you can run to somebody who is a little baby, yet an adult chasing you can never beat you? That is who we are. That is our people for you. That is Biafra for you, that most people don't understand. That is why they tell you to avoid an Igbo man, because they know an Igbo man is the only one who can save you. Being envious will not solve your problem. It won't solve it. That is who we are. Ancient people, blessed by God himself. That is why they don't like us. But we don't care, because we are going home. The caller on the line, can you hear me? This is Radio Biafra. We are live and direct. Give me your name, where you're calling from, and your question, please. Can you hear me? Yes, please. Yes, my dear brother.
I can hear you. Good morning from South Africa.
From South Africa. Thank you very much.
My name is Mazi Etelbert.
Thank you.
Yeah, Mazi, I'm very, very happy to meet you online today. May Shukwu bless you.
Bless you too. Yes, sir.
I thank you for all you have been doing for our people, and I bless God for that.
Thank you. Please go ahead.
Mazi, we have a very, very big problem that might escalate anytime in this very South Africa. I know there have been, nobody is able to tell you that we are having a very big problem. But
there is no problem. Hold on. There is no problem. I have instructed the head of DOS, Mazi to issue a memo regarding South Africa, and that is final. And thank you very much for your call. I want to use this very opportunity to say that anytime there are changes or structural reforms within IPOB family structure, a memo will be issued, signed by Mazi Doziem, our head of Directorate of State, and that is final. Anytime anything is put down on IPOB memo from DOS, that decision is final and irreversible. Anybody going against it will be expelled from IPOB regardless of who you are. Once a memo has been issued, signed by Mazi Doziem, it is final, irreversible. Any person talking rubbish against it is gone and gone for good. We must understand this. Every position we occupy is temporary, and we serve at the grace and will of our people. We must understand this very carefully. Anybody who, if you have served us and we say, thank you very much for your service, we need to change, you must leave your position and allow somebody else to do that very job. Regarding South Africa, I don't want you to go too much live on air. I can assure you that before the end of this program or before the end of this evening, a memo will be issued by the DOS. And that memo is final. regarding South Africa. Please go ahead.
Okay, Mazi, we'll be expecting that very soon because I'm that you knows about it, and we are waiting. We are hoping to get a very fruitful result. Thank you, Mazi.
Thank you very much. Thank you. I had to preempt him. Thank you very, very much for that. There, we must understand this. Not every time we see any little shake-up or misunderstanding and we say, oh, the world is coming to an end, it doesn't work. We are human beings. People are bound to, even husband and wife, they quarrel. Parents quarrel. So it is not, or have misunderstanding, let me put it that way. So we are human beings and we are bound to have misunderstandings and, a few ego issues within family hierarchy. We resolve them. It is not out of hatred or anything. We just resolve them and move on. Because in Biafra land, you see this IPOB will go into Biafra as one. But once inside Biafra, some will leave and go and form other political parties. People will form parties. People that I'm talking to today, eating with and dining with and running IPOB with, maybe ideologically, we are different. But the issue of Biafra restoration, we are one family. But after Biafra has been restored, people may decide to go into the party of the left or to the right, or maybe prefer to be in the middle. And that's how it is. That's how life is. So I don't want us to, anytime we have a misunderstanding between family members, we think it's the end of the world. No, it is not. Because we are human beings. We are about, you even quarrel with yourself when you're alone in a room, talk less of when there's somebody else there. Have you noticed that anywhere you have two people in the world, even if they're the best of lovers, one day they will quarrel? Albeit even to test how quarreling or maybe how making up, sometimes making up is very sweet to see how they can make up and, be one again. So there are bound to be these issues. It doesn't mean the end of the world or the end of that IPOB family. That is just how life is. Please, you must understand that very well. You must understand. We are live and we are direct and the whole world is listening. We are lecturing humanity as to who we are. We are a very special race. Special to the core. If you are a Biafran, you should go down on your knees and thank Elohim for making you a Biafran. It's a special, not everybody can be a Biafran. Nobody needs to be a Biafran. Oh my goodness, you don't know. The caller on the line, can you hear me please, your name and where you're calling us from, if you may?
Yes, my supreme leader, my name is Aguchukwemeka. I'm calling from Belgium.
Thank you very much. Please don't, please, I beg of you, don't call me supreme leader because a lot of people misunderstand it. Somebody wrote to me and said to me that I'm taking away God's glory from God. I said, heaven forbid, I can never do that. And I asked him why. He said, because I use the title supreme. And I said, please, okay, if that is what God told you in your dreams, who am I to argue with you? I don't use the title. I never asked anybody to give me that very title. And please, please.
My director, I make the choice. It's my personal option. And we are the one that choose to call you that. And there is nobody, you did not ask us to call it, sir.
Thank you. Please go ahead.
Good morning. I want to really appreciate what you are doing for us. And I want to also confess that although I've been listening to, I've been a member.
Hey, what is going on? What is going on? What is going on?
I stopped contributing to this struggle for some time now.
Why? Why did you stop?
I stopped contributing to this struggle for some time, and I want to really confess that I'm very sorry for that. I want to also ask for how I can contribute.
And where are you based? Where are you based?
So I want to have a maybe bank account.
Which country are you in?
I'm based in Belgium.
You're in Belgium. There is IPOB family.
Belgium.
Yes, there is IPOB family in Belgium.
Yeah, we have a strong family in Belgium here, but
I've
not been able to go meeting with them because I've been sick for some times now. So
go and join them.
I want to be
go and join them. Go and join them.
I'm a member.
Okay, go and contribute to via them, please. Go and yes, please. Okay, go and please do that. Thank you very much. Thank you very, very much, my dear brother. He was part of us before, and then he fell off and stopped contributing because people said to them, "No, don't contribute." But somebody asking you not to contribute towards IPOB, he is paying tax to a foreign land. He is going to work. Somebody is in America or in Europe asking you not to contribute to it, but he's in wherever he is, maybe in Belgium, paying tax to Belgian government to build roads, schools, and hospitals for Belgian people. But to save himself, somebody said, "Oh, don't save yourself." You remember that thing I told you? Hey, look at Amibo Mano. Now they have come with something with IPOB. Oh, avoid IPOB. Oh, he's a terrorist. Don't go there. Oh, don't go. Because they know only IPOB can save you. The same thing they did with Igbo man. Don't go to an Igbo man, forgetting that only an Igbo man can save them. Today, the Janjaweed are everywhere rampaging. Who is saving? Who's not saving them, if not us? The caller on the line, you've been trying for a very long time. Give us your name and where you're calling from, please. The line was very, very loud and very busy. Very loud and busy. Let's take this very call. The caller on the line, please, can you hear me? Your name and where you're calling from, please.
Mazi, good morning. My name is Peter Okudeluchuku, calling from Padova, Italy.
Please go ahead.
Mazi, I want to thank you and I want to congratulate you for the good works you have been doing for us. And as well, we are looking onto the opening of the world, so you can come to pay us a visit here in Italy. We are missing you. We are missing you.
I owe Italy a visit and I'll be there. I owe Italy a visit and I'll be there.
Okay, that is nice. Thank you very much, Mazi.
Thank you.
And Mazi, I want to bring to the attention of our religious leaders in Biafran land and of how they are keeping quiet, they are keeping mute over the killing of the people. And I want to ask them, as the saboteurs like Nyawodo and Co, as they are grooming more saboteurs in our land, and these people are keeping quiet, the religious leaders, they are keeping quiet while the younger generations are being slaughtered by these Fulani jihadi terrorists. Now, who will take over after they have lived and gone? All these works of Elohim they claim that they are doing, who will take over those works? Like me, I once had my younger one in the seminary school at this quarters at Sabatota State, and later he said he doesn't want to continue with it. Okay, and I'm asking these people who are keeping mute over the killing, let them, instead of them to rise up and speak for the people. It's like in last year's election, the zoo election, the whole killing and everything. After money has been given to them, they came out to say that they are being pressurized by the people who pressurized them to come and congratulate the Jubril in Asorok that they won election, while their own people are being slaughtered day and night.
Thank you, my brother. Stay where you are. You've raised a very important point. I never want to talk about this, but we will this morning. About those very corrupt traditional rulers that disgraced their throne, their clan, their village, to go to Asorok following an errand boy. Atheze is an errand boy of the Janjaweed. Anybody can be in that position. As you are now, as handsome as you are, I can assure you now, if you put tattoo on your biceps, the way you're looking, and you go to Abuja now, you pull your trouser down a bit, Alhaji will approach you. And once they take you to Sokoto, to Kaduna, and they pull down your boxer shorts and they razzle you in all those places, they give you contracts. They give you oil block. They make you an Igbo millionaire. And maybe if you're unlucky, they convert you to Islam and you become an Igbo leader. That's how these idiots came up. When we are small, we are growing up. If you go and bring money that your parents don't know about, they will beat the living daylight out of you and ask you to return that money to whoever you borrowed it from. These days, any idiot can make money from the janjaweed anyhow and come back and be talking rubbish. They say he made money. He's Ozubondu. Now, let me answer your question directly. They are breeding saboteurs every blessed day. Not the type of, not baby saboteur with feeding bottle online with 54 fake accounts. That's rubbish. These are irrelevant, inconsequential idiots. I'm talking about the people that occupy traditional stools in our land. They are misbehaving. Because in your job for Omenala, that is why I don't believe in all this Omenala rubbish, because they don't know our culture. They don't know what Omenala means. There is something called Ordinala, the way of life of the people, and Omenala, which is practice. You know, the thing is that sometimes we try to educate our people, and I pray and hope that they do reason and understand. Omenala is very bad, because anything can be Omenala, like Ashobi. We borrowed. Before, where we come from, there's nothing like, hey, Banku, you go and marry your wife around 4 or 5 in the evening, and before 12 midnight, you are in your home. In the olden days, when you go to, I'm digressing a bit, but I'm trying to make a point. In the olden days, when you go to marry a lady, that lady leaving her house that night, she'll be crying because she knows she's no longer going back there. But in this very age of divorce and separation, they start dancing from 12 o'clock in the afternoon. Because she knows if something happens, if I don't like what I'm seeing, I'm coming back. But in the olden days, when a woman is getting married, she's crying because she knows it's for better, for worse. She's not coming back. Very rarely do you hear about divorce or coming back. Why am I saying this? Because now, the men are now, that anything goes. Once you go to marry now, the DJ will start playing music. She will change into 8 or 9 different outfits before 7 in the evening. And after 2-3 years, you hear that they're divorced. People don't know about culture. They don't know nothing. Now, our Omenala now is used to be wearing Ashobi. It is now called Omenala. Because people don't understand that in your job for Omenala, if we allow these traitors, these traditional traitors, to continue the way they are, because as the saying where we come from, immediately now, if you don't know how, if you look at your fathers and they are all useless, they are all saboteurs all over the place, you learn to be a saboteur, you grow up to be a saboteur. People don't know what informed what I do till today. I was in my house when NPM came to bribe my father to stop supporting Mbakwe. And said anything you like, we will give to you. Wakamokoro came to say anything you like, we will give to you. My father said no. That every other major tribe produced ahead of somebody contesting, that he will support Azikiwe and Mbakwe. And I learned something from it. To be resolute, it doesn't matter how much money people bring to you, you must be strong and very resolute in your belief. These days, there is now a Menala. For somebody to go and betray his people is now, as long as you come back with money, it's okay. We campaign for Jus Okado to come out, no doubt about that. I'm not disputing that because he's an Igbo man. We have to campaign for him to come out. But look at the politics they're playing. Politics of betrayal. The politics of betraying your people. That's what all that matters to them is let them get into office and still to Facebook. We are back. They can't stop us. If you cut us off 10,000 times, I will return 10,000 times. I will preach the gospel that Elohim has given me to preach. In truth and in every honesty. I just had a sip of water. We are live. Tell them we are live on Facebook on my page. Mazi Nnamdi. We are live on my Facebook page. 400,000 followers, which is nothing anyway. But that's what Facebook allowed me to have. That's the original one, the original page where you can find me. My goodness. We are back on my Facebook page to preach the gospel of heaven. I am here. David Nnamdi, I'm here. Ebube Chukwuzo, favor, I'm here. Kelechi Uchenna Nwobodo. What are you talking about? We are live and direct. I want to preach a gospel this evening that Elohim asked me to preach about the Yoruba race, so that they may turn from what they are doing and become good people. As I was saying before, I was rudely interrupted by Facebook. I wanted to assert with every degree of certainty that the Yoruba race were never one people before. It was due to war and conquest that made them one. A war and conquest that Igbo people never embarked upon. The Egba nation is a separate people. The Egbas are separate people. From the Oyo, from the Ijebu, separate. The only thing that unites them is the Oyo Empire. That's the only thing that unites them. And to prove it to you, as I'm telling you, just be jotting them down, be writing them down. Egba nation, Egba, EGBA, they have their own national anthem. Do you know that? The same way Urobo has, because some of you don't know that the song I play these days first, before I play Rex Lawson, is Urobo national anthem. Some of you don't know. I play it. If you like, I can play it for you again. Yoruba they have their own national anthem. I play Urobo national anthem every blessed day. Some of you don't notice, but I do. I want to play it again for you, so that some of you who may not know will know that we are everywhere. This is Urobo national anthem. Urobo national anthem. Did you hear that? That was Urobo national anthem. The same way that Egba in Yoruba land, Egba kingdom, they have their own national anthem. They have the Egba anthem. I don't speak Yoruba. I would have tried to read out the words for you. But I know this one says, Lori Oke Owun Upetele. I don't want to make mistakes, please. They have Egba. They have their own national anthem. I want to prove to Yoruba journalists that this their divide and rule is not good. It is not good. Yoruba, your divide and rule, this thing you're helping Fulani to divide people and conquer them is evil. Because at a time, you were not one nation. Nobody has dug in to be saying, oh, by the woman, by man, or your man. No. We respectfully refer to all of you as Yoruba. Why do you always want to come into Biafran land to divide people? Why? Oh, because you two need access to oil. I've forgotten. Alakija and Otedola. It's all oil, isn't it? Zoo. What happened to the Yoruba? What is happening to us now happened to them. What is happening today to us happened to them. Do you know that I'm going to give you a bit of history? Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Hi, Elohim. Othman Danfodio, whose grandson was Ahmadu Bello. I want to tell you why Fulani hates our people so much.
I want to tell you why Fulani want to take over Delta State. I want to tell you why they are in Okpanam, which the Obi of Okpanam or the traditional ruler in Okpanam did not see. I want to teach him tonight what he never knew. The all-conquering Fulani man that came from Futajalon. He was actually born in Gober. His name is Otman Danfodio, the man that said he would dip the Quran in the Atlantic. He, first of all, I will tell you what the history book says about him. I'll read. Following a jihad led by Uthman Danfodio and a rapid consolidation of the Hausa city-states of contemporary northern Nigeria, the Fulani Sokoto Caliphate invaded and annexed the Buffer Nupe kingdom. Nupe were ancient people. Fulani swallowed them. Listen, all of you talking about one Nigeria, you are preparing your own death. Go and dig your grave because Fulani is coming. The more you say one Nigeria, please go and be digging your grave because all of you will be swallowed up. Now listen. They have cut us now. They have left us at about 7.6K. We will continue. If you like, there will be only one person left. I will preach. They invaded and took over Nupe Kingdom. They now started to advance southwards into Oyo lands. Shortly afterwards, the Fulani army overran Yoruba military capital in Ilorin. You know, Yoruba Irats never loved it over. They never talk about Ilorin. They don't like it. And that's how to cure them. Anywhere you see a Yoruba Irat writing rubbish, simply go and take the history of Ilorin and dump it on the thread. They will disappear. You know, they are masters at deflection. If you write something now, they will never debate you on that.